Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, welcome to your 2025 horoscope forecast. Let's start off with Saturn and Neptune, both in Pisces in your third house of learning, self-initiative. This is the house of your courage as well, the house of siblings, the house of your neighborhood. Saturn this year in 2025, when it's in your third house, will transit from 14 to 29 degrees of Pisces. So if you have personal planets from 14 to 29 degrees in the sign of Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius, Saturn will either conjunct these planets, square, or oppose. While it's in the third house, it may seem that relationships with siblings and neighbors is harder. There's more work, more burden, more responsibility even in those relationships, or it could be a time where your younger siblings are going through a harder time. There could be issues with communication devices, issues with driving your car, and even in the neighborhood with neighbors where you live. Saturn can make it more difficult to acquire new skills, whether it be lack of funds, lack of concentration. It is harder. It can actually put a damper on your social life as well, because the third house is all communication. Online, offline, when you're hanging out with your neighborhood. So you could actually feel, some of you may start to feel like maybe you're behind in things, behind in certain skills, like you're not acquiring them fast enough, like you're not being social enough. That all can transpire when Saturn is transiting the third house. With Neptune also in your third house right now, Neptune sometimes can cloud our judgment, especially when it comes to neighbors, siblings, teachers, and even our self-initiative. This is the house of courage. It's the house of self-effort. And Neptune can, lead us to miss appointments, not stay on schedule. So all the stuff that Saturn is trying to work out now. So that's why it may feel a lot harder, because with Neptune there for so long, some of you might not have had a schedule. You maybe weren't putting in effort into certain areas that you should be, you have to be. So Saturn will point you in the right direction. It may sometimes do it out of a need, a responsibility, like you need to do it. You're not doing it freely. But Saturn, when it leaves, it will leave you with a gift where you're going to be more self-assured about your skills, about your communication with your siblings, with people in your neighborhood, even online. May 25th through September 1st of 2025, Neptune and Saturn are in Aries, in your fourth house, home, family, mother, your security, vehicles. And this is a time where you can get something new. Remember, Neptune and Saturn just finished off the whole zodiac, ended at the sign of Pisces. It is now bringing you something new in the area of home, family, your mother, any kind of things that make you feel secure, really. Your emotions, vehicles, maybe you are purchasing a new vehicle, but a lot of you, this is about home and your inner needs. So a lot of you could be moving in with somebody right now, maybe starting a family, some of you, welcoming someone new into your home even. And this could be a time where your parents are going through something new. They're leaning on you a little bit more. Saturn is always where restrictions and blocks come in, but these two planets conjoining together and going into your fourth house will bring you something new. And it will be something new that you will have to put in the hard work to reap the benefits of. But a lot of you, it's that foundation. It's a home, it's new family members, it's a relationship you take to the next level. With Neptune, of course, you have to pay attention to contracts, to what people say, because with Neptune, we can sometimes not see the bigger picture. We can romanticize the idea of something, someone, making it seem too good to be true. But at the same time, this will give you something new, and it's something you can build on. That is why Saturn is coming in there. And it is really just a preview of what Saturn in your fourth house will be doing, because both these planets will be retrograding back into your third house, where again, you might be tested in your relationships with siblings, close friends, neighbors, your communication style, nearing the end of your third house by the end of the year. And you can finally see all the strides that you have made in education and friendships. When Saturn's in the third, we can even feel like it's hard to maintain friendships. And it could finally start easing up in that area for you. Pluto in 2025 will transit from 1 to 2 degrees of Aquarius if you have personal planets, from 0 to even 3 degrees of Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio. You can get the Pluto transformation to these planets. But Pluto has now officially entered your second house. It is not going back to your first house, so you should feel a little bit better about that. And it is now going to transform over the next 20 years your financial situation. With Pluto in the second house, you are going to be working on all types of financial situations. And this can kind of cause a lot of friction sometimes within family relationships. The second house is also family relationships. It is the house of our stability. And here comes Pluto trying to transform what makes you feel secure. So you can start to feel like you want to start a business, get a better paying job, go after whatever it is that you want so that you could acquire and buy new possessions, homes, cars, all of that stuff. It's going to be a big focus for you. Transforming your finances will be the focus for you over the next 20 years. From the second house, Pluto will aspect your 5th house, your 8th house, and your 11th house. So while Pluto is transforming your money, your possessions, it will be squaring your 5th and 11th house. So there could be issues about payments for children, paying for the things you enjoy, creativity, as well as maybe even involvement in the stock market for some of you. And you could even join different groups and different friendships that help you acquire money, learn how to manage money, earn money, opposing your 8th house. And this is a big deal because with Pluto in the second, it's opposing your 8th house. So those of you who do have personal planets in the 8th house, at one point Pluto will be exactly opposing these planets. And this means that any kind of shared resources is now coming up for big transformation. So business partnerships, any kind of money that you manage for other people, your partner's money, your spouse's money, and Pluto is trying to change things up so you could acquire a lot more money through partnership, through marriage. A lot of you Capricorns right now, as well as, sometimes you could feel like you've lost money because of that, or even on account of groups that you belong to. Maybe you're spending money there or spending money on children. Things like that can come up, even settlements, divorce settlements that you are paying out or you're getting money from someone else, such as loans, child support. Things like that can come up for a lot of you over the next 20 years. Uranus, the planet of unshakable change, is in the sign of Taurus from 23 to 29 degrees of Taurus. So if you actually have personal planets from 23 to 29 degrees of Taurus, Uranus will conjunct them. If in Scorpio, it will oppose these planets. And if these planets are in Leo or Aquarius, it will square them, creating a lot of tension, but a lot of change. So this is your 5th house of romance, creativity, children. And if you do have planets here, you can have, pregnancy, falling in love, finding a creative outlet that you really love, maybe even investing in the stock market, making some money through the stock market. That is what the 5th house is about. And Uranus wants to break apart your whole routine. So in a way, over the last couple of years, you could have seen, maybe even unstable relationships even with your children, unpredictable relationships, because Uranus is trying to introduce you to different people. Now, Uranus on July 7th will enter the sign of Gemini. This is your 6th house of daily habits, work, routine, what you do day in and day out. It's also the house of your health. And Uranus is coming in here for a little bit. So if you have personal planets from 0 to 1 degree of Gemini, Uranus will conjunct them. And this will bring in a ton of change, suddenly moving, suddenly falling in love, suddenly getting pregnant, suddenly completely changing your job, where you work, who you're with. Now, if you have planets from 0 to 1 degree in Sagittarius, then Uranus will oppose them. And it could just be sudden oppositions, sudden breakups, sudden meetings. And if you have 0 to 1 degree Virgo and Pisces planets, Uranus will square them, causing tension that's meant to bring in a lot of change. And this is your 6th house, so you could be changing your diet, starting to work out, a new job, new employees, new day-to-day schedule, new sleep schedule, getting into competitions, some of you, because the 6th house is competitors. And it could also shake up your health, what you like to do day in and day out, a completely different routine for some of you. Now, Uranus is going to retrograde back into your 5th house starting September 6th. You can meet exciting new partners, fall in love, get pregnant, invest in the stock market, find a new creative hobby yet again. It can bring more shakeups, more new adventures into your 5th house. Children, creativity, romance. So Uranus is really doing a lot. Jupiter, the planet of luck and abundance, is still in your 6th house of work, health, daily habits until June 9th of 2025. And it is expanding this area for you. Some of you can actually find a purposeful work. Find that kind of purpose that drives you to help other people. This is very much possible with Jupiter because it's expanding opportunities in the 6th house. You can get healthy, get fit. It's winning over any competitors, any frenemies, enemies that you have had, because the 6th house can be our opponents, people who are working against us. It can help you if you're always anxious. It can help you feel more relaxed within yourself, as well as find any kind of good nutritional program, good doctors. This can also help you get on track with budgeting and paying off debt. But at the same time, Jupiter expands. So some of you may be even taking on new debt. And if you are doing that, make sure it is something that is benefiting your future. June 10th, 2025, all the way until June 30th of 2026, Jupiter, the planet of luck and abundance, is going into your 7th house. The 7th house is relationships of all kinds, business, personal, friendships. It's even our public approval. Jupiter is expanding this area for you. So if you are in business, think new clients, new business partners. You are just more happy-go-lucky because this is aspecting your ascendant, your sign. New opportunities are opening up in the area of romance as well. Some of you could be getting married, taking a relationship to the next level. Some of you could be meeting people. You could have more than one to choose from. Jupiter is expanding this area. Sometimes we can even let go of relationships with a Jupiter 7th house transit, especially if this relationship is holding us back, making us feel stuck, stuffy. It's not working because you want your freedom, you want new adventure, you want to meet new people. This can also be meeting people of all types. Even new friendships could come into your life that open up doors for you business-wise, because 7th house is a business house. So think clients, all kinds of relationships, but it's looking at your house so you're feeling better, you're feeling happier, more content. And if you've had problems in love, romance, any kind of relationships like that, even friendships, Jupiter can smooth things over if there have been any rifts in this department. March 2nd, 2025 until April 13th, right in between two eclipses, Venus is going retrograde. So relationships from the past can come into your life. You're reviewing all your emotions, all past relationships, how they ended. You could even be reminiscing about old love relationships of all kinds. Maybe even changing your looks, thinking about changing your looks. It's probably not a good idea to get any kind of beauty treatments when Venus is retrograde. We might not like the result, but this is going to be a big review for all relationships. And even current relationships could start to see a little bit of problems around Venus retrograde. Whatever is not going well will come up for review during a Venus retrograde. There are 4 eclipses. The first eclipse is March 13th. It is a lunar eclipse at 24 degrees of Virgo. If you have personal planets from 22 to 27 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, this eclipse can affect you more. This is your 9th house of education, philosophy, travel, schooling, and publishing. So a lot of you maybe are publishing work, you're releasing work because this is a lunar eclipse. So there could also be an ending. Some of you finishing up your schooling, making travel plans. This can also be an ending or finally a conclusion to a legal matter, any legal dealings, court cases that you have had. This can also be a time where there's new developments in your father's life. A lunar eclipse is letting go, releasing. And we could also be releasing some old, outdated philosophies about life so that we can open up, broaden our horizons at this time. But for you, this is mostly travel, education, publishing, the father, your philosophy, your spirituality. So think that and think releasing, trying to make room for something else, something new to come into your life. Because this lunar eclipse can make us feel a little bit more emotional. We can be more anxious. So try not to make rash decisions as eclipses are unfolding, fated events in our life. And for you, it could be the start of even teaching people, traveling the world, signing up for new courses, new classes, maybe education that you need to get for your career. March 29th, there is a solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Aries. If you have personal planets from 7 to even 12 degrees of Aries or Libra, this eclipse can affect you more. This is your 4th house, home, family, mother, your parental unit. There could be new developments in the lives of your parents. A lot of you could be moving, buying a home, expecting a new family member, maybe a pregnancy, getting a pet, redecorating your home, buying a new vehicle, because this is a brand new beginning for you. And that is the 4th house. So all of that is possible, as well as even starting a business out of your house, starting something new out of your house, whether it is new studies, a new business, anything like that, because this eclipse is just opposing your 10th house of career and public image. But whatever it is, this new beginning could just be a new foundation, new security. Maybe you're moving in with a partner, they're moving in with you. So think beginning, a new opening, and this could be happening 3 months before to 3 months after this eclipse. September 7th, there is a lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Pisces. If you have personal planets from about 12 to 17 degrees of Pisces or Virgo, this eclipse can affect you more. This is your 3rd house. 3rd house is the house of siblings. It's the house of self-effort, self-promotion, learning, all your equipment such as computers, cell phones, even your vehicle to some extent, your neighborhood, your neighbors. So there could be new developments in the lives of your siblings. There could be something you've been studying, learning that you are finalizing right now at this time. Or maybe you're letting go of outdated hobbies, things you were learning, so that you can make room for new ones. This is a lunar eclipse, so there could be a letting go. Maybe old neighbors moving away, you changing things that you do in the neighborhood. Self-effort. It could be self-effort in promoting yourself, learning new skills. The lunar eclipse, of course, is letting go, but this is where the North Node is as well. So over the course of the year, you are expanding this area of life, gaining new skills, maybe buying new equipment, new computers, new software, so you could learn better, study better, or do the job better. And this is also the house of any self-effort that you take in promoting yourself. So those of you who work online could be building a website, starting a YouTube channel, doing any kind of self-promotion, TikTok, Instagram, anything like that is third house. Or maybe you're thinking about this because third house is creativity. Think photography, playing any kind of musical instrument. All of that is the third house. So there's a releasing maybe of outdated things we no longer want to do so that you can make room for learning something else, bringing something new into your life. And of course, your siblings could be going through a lot of changes as well. September 21st, there is a solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Virgo. If you have personal planets from 27, 28, 29 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, this eclipse can affect you more. So this is the ninth house: higher education, spirituality, philosophy, travel, passports, court cases. This is the house of the father, the mentors, even teachers, open up a lot of doors for you at this time. Meeting people from all walks of life, travel, take a trip. This is the time where these things could really expand your horizons. And you could become a teacher. Publish your work. Maybe you're thinking about helping others through what you know, so you want to become a teacher. This is as well for you where you could actually find a spiritual teacher, go back to school, go back to college. New developments in the life of your father could be unfolding as well. You could read a book, watch a documentary, maybe watch a motivational speech, and it could completely change your philosophy about life. The ninth house is also the house of luck. So you could be feeling more lucky, like you're just at the right place at the right time, meeting just the right people. So this is really fantastic for growth, mindset, changing any negative thinking patterns. And you could see the change in your thinking 3 months before to 3 months after this eclipse. This is a huge year, Capricorn. Like and subscribe for more, and happy 2025, everyone.